Hmm. Okay, let's see. I'm typing in the chat if you can hear me. That is weird. Patty, you're not muted. Can you hear me? Hello? Can anyone hear me? Can you raise your hand if you can hear me? Ah, okay, awesome. Thank you. I was worried. Okay, so let's see. Am I recording already? Yes, okay. Give me 1 second. In the meantime, let me know who you are, where you're from, and if you already know one of your guides in the chat. And I can get ready in the meantime. Okay, so yeah, you probably already know, but I'm Yamile Yemoonyah, and you can find me at spiritguides.co. In case you haven't seen my website yet, there's an awesome quiz that you can take to find out who your spirit guide is. And yeah, we also have a great Facebook group, which is at spiritguideschool.com. So that's spiritguideschool.com, and that redirects to our Facebook group. So you're absolutely invited to join us there as well. So, and we have Patty from New York City, and I already told her 3 of her guides. And then we have Kathleen from Ontario in Canada, who doesn't know any of her guides yet, but she can feel them around. Okay, so you do know them, kind of. That's awesome. All right. So before we get started, I have to tell you a few things that you have to know. One is that my definition of spirit guides includes angels, ancestors, nature beings, star beings, ascended masters, power animals, and gods and goddesses. So basically, any beings that can help us with our spiritual development. Then the second thing you have to know is that spirit guides show themselves in a way that makes sense to us. So that's why sometimes people see their guides in the form of a Disney figure, for example, because as a child we might have seen a Disney movie and we saw, I don't know, an elf, and we really related to that elf. So that's why like the nature being that wants to talk to us might show itself like an elf in a Disney form. So don't discredit these images that you have in your head, because like I said, in reality, they don't have a form. They take the form that makes sense to us. Then the third thing you have to know is that even if you already know one of your guides, during this reading, others might come through. It doesn't have to be the one that you already know. Because if you already know them, then usually they don't need me to give you messages because they can do it themselves. Although that does happen as well, but just saying. Oh, we have Selina from Finland. Hey, Selina. So, and then there's one more thing that you have to know. Oh yeah, 2 more things. If messages don't make sense right away, like if I give you a message from your spirit guide and you're thinking like, I don't know, it doesn't resonate, just go with it for that moment, accept it, and just see what happens over the next week or month, because oftentimes you'll get signs after the reading that show you like, oh yeah, there's something to this. So sometimes during a reading, people will be, yeah, that makes total sense. And sometimes they'll be like, I don't know. And then later on, the message reveals itself. And then the last thing is, I always get asked, how does this work? Or how does it work for me specifically when I do these readings? What happens like in my head? And what happens is that I close my eyes like this, and I usually turn my head a little bit to the left. I don't know why. Somehow I can do it better that way. And then because I'm clairvoyant, I can see information, which means I can see a being in my mind's eye with my third eye. And that's what I will tell you. I will tell you what I see. And then with that image of that being, I also get knowledge, which usually or sometimes comes in clairvoyant images, but it's more like claircognizance in the sense that I just know, because that being basically gives me like the information that I need to know, or the message that I have to pass on to you. So let's see, someone else wrote in the chat. Oh yeah, Selena knows one of her guides because I told her, and she thinks she knows her power animal. Awesome. So for those of you who just tuned in, let us know in the chat who you are, your name, where you're from, and if you know one of your guides already or not. All right, so then we can get started by, close your eyes and we'll take a few deep breaths. Just to relax a little bit. Let go of everything that's bothering you right now that happened today. And one more deep breath. Relax your shoulders, your forehead, your eyes. All right. Now we'll say a little intro prayer. Thank you for my gifts and allowing me to use them to help others. Protect me as I open myself to only good and righteous knowledge from the universe, Mother Earth, and all beings connected to us in light and love. Open my eyes so I may see clearly. Let me hear and know accurately. Guide me to help others with compassion. Guide those that need help to me. Inspire me to heal those with wounded hearts and broken spirits. Allow me to be a beacon of light and hope for those seeking clarity, truth, and comfort. I work only with those from the light and with love in their heart. I am thankful for the gifts, wisdom, and tools that have been provided to me. And so it is. Thank you. I call my spirit guides to help me connect to your spirit guides so they can give you the messages you need to hear today. I especially call on Archangel Michael to protect the space so only beings of the light and the ones that are connected to us in love can come through. I also call on your spirit guides to come and be with you and use me as a channel to give you the messages you need to hear. And so it is. Thank you. All right, you can open your eyes again, and then we can get started. There are not too many people today. That's awesome. So everyone gets a turn. When I do them later, like we always do them like once a week. I do them earlier in the day. Once the other week, I do them later, and that's usually really crowded because that's US times. So who hasn't had a reading yet from me? Like who's never? Okay. So we'll start with Nell. I'll unmute you. And I'll take a look at you. So don't be alarmed. I'm staring a little bit at you, but that helps me connect. All right. Let me see what I get. Okay, now I see an angel. And it's a female, and she shows herself in a traditional way, like with a white, I want to say gown, and even with a halo and like big white wings. Let's see what she has to say. Okay, so she says you have a really big heart and you're a very loving person. And you give a lot of your energy. You're a natural caretaker. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. She's showing me that you with 3 or 4 children. I'm not sure if these are your real children or if this is more like a symbolic image. But basically, that there are people that you are, the caregiver for. Does that make sense to you? Do you have children, or is this more
No,
like?
I don't have children.
Sorry?
I do have 4 cats.
Okay.
I don't have any children, but I do have 4 cats.
Ah, okay. Maybe that's it. Interesting. Sometimes, like when I get images, they are like literally, and sometimes they are more like symbols. So sometimes I'm not sure. That's when I ask. Let's see. But yeah, but she says generally you are someone, like if someone is in need, you almost feel obligated to help. And she says that's awesome, and she loves you very much for that, and she is around you to help you do that. And it's part of your purpose here in life, in this lifetime, to be a caregiver. But she says to not forget yourself. She wants you to take time in your life, like really dedicated time in your life that you use to recharge your own batteries. She says you don't do that enough. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So she wants you to not just tell yourself that you are going to do this, like, okay, I'll take more care of myself, but really sit down and make a plan. Like, basically, what I usually tell people is like, put it on your calendar. Take at least, I don't know, like an hour a day if possible, and do something for yourself, something that you like doing, something that brings you joy, something that makes you feel good, makes you feel healthy, makes you feel joyful. And she says even if there are people that want your time, like you have to, take that time for yourself. Take that, she says, 1 hour, she's laughing, she says 1 hour sounds too much for you. So make it half an hour a day. But she says that's non-negotiable. Take that half hour and do things for yourself. She shows me you, this one again, I'm not sure if it's like just symbolic or if it's literal, but she shows me you sitting like in a lazy chair with a book. Do you like reading?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, take at least half an hour a day. Read if that's your thing, or do something else, something that relaxes you, soothes you, and fills up your spirit. Do you have any questions for her?
No, no, I don't. I can't think of anything at the moment.
Okay. Let's see if she has anything else. She says her name is Clara. No, I think that's it. Yeah, she says that was very important that you got this message.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
All right, so I'll mute you again. At least if I can figure out how. That's weird. Usually that works. Oh, can you do it yourself? It's like somewhere in the lower left, I think. All right, let's see in the chat. Kathleen says, I haven't. I think she means like she doesn't know any of her spirit guides. And then we have Elvira, who doesn't know any of her guides. All right, welcome everyone. So who wants to go next? Who hasn't had a reading yet, like ever? Oh, Kathleen, you're driving. Is there, wait, I'll unmute you real quick. Is there a chance that you can like stop along the road at some point for a few minutes?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, okay, let me know once you're ready because I'm not sure.
Oh, I can pull over now.
Okay, sure. I'm not sure it's safe to get a reading while you're driving.
All right, I'm pulled over.
Okay, awesome. Don't want to, yeah, no risks. All right, let's see. Okay, I'll have to pin your video for a second so I can see you a little bit better. Sorry if I'm staring at you.
That's okay.
Just helps me. All right. All right. I see nature spirit. It's an elf. It's a male. He shows himself. Well, I have to say, elves like to show themselves either as Disney characters or sometimes more like Lord of the Rings style. And this one is more Lord of the Rings style. He has dark hair, short hair. More on the shorter side. He has a bow and arrow. And he's a funny guy. And he says, you have a close connection to nature. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
Okay. He wants you to pay conscious attention in your life to having fun in the sense of laughing. Yeah, he wants you to make sure that you get a really good laugh at least once a day. He says that's important for your health. He points to his what's it called, diaphragm in English, like where like in between, like where the chest and the belly meet.
Yeah.
And he says if you laugh, that God, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how to explain this, but what he's saying or showing me is basically that when you laugh, that the diaphragm like moves, and that somehow is good for your entire body. I'm not sure why, or let's see if he has an explanation for it. Okay, so yeah, he said, okay, so he's actually really serious about this. Like, he says this is not just like a message that you should ignore. He says this is really health related, and so if you make sure that you do this, okay, so this is what I get. If you do this, it will prevent something that might otherwise compromise your health in some way. And he says it doesn't matter how you do it. Like you could watch, I don't know, comedy once a day to help. The main thing is that you get a good laugh once a day. Or just stand in front of the mirror and just start laughing. Also okay. Okay, so he says it doesn't make sense right now, but and it never will if you make sure that you do it. But otherwise, yeah, there's something with your health, and it's a preventive measure. I think it's something to do with your intestines, like either your stomach or your, what are the other ones called? Like where the food goes through.
Bowels?
Yeah, exactly. Do you have any questions for him about this?
That's just very interesting.
Yeah. Don't ask me, it's really weird, but yeah. That's what he says.
Does he have a name that he likes to go by?
Let's see. Alvin.
Elvin.
Yeah.
Works for me.
All right. Oh, okay. So he says he's a healer. Oh, okay, interesting. So he's a healer for his people. I'm trying to find out, like, if he's been with you for a long time or if he's just here for this one message. Okay, so he says he connected with you in your childhood. You were somewhere out in nature and he saw you, and he really liked your energy, and so he's been watching you since then.
That makes sense.
It does?
It does.
How? Tell me.
When I was younger, I used to play with the neighbors, and they always told me there was an elf living in a little rock thing in their yard that it just makes sense.
That's
And
awesome.
I knew there was an elf living in these rocks.
That's awesome. That's so cool. He says yes. So yeah, he's been with you since then. And yeah, and like I said, he's a healer. And he says, I know that sounds weird, but just do it. Trust me. And he also says you have healing abilities.
Oh.
One of the reasons why he's with you. So pay attention to that and you'll find out in what way you have healing abilities. Just try different things, maybe read books about different healing modalities, take a course. Maybe Reiki. Oh, and he says practice on yourself. Like if you have a headache or something, try to heal yourself. Try different things. Try like just with your hands, try getting crystals. Yeah, and he'll help you. He'll direct you in the right direction. Like let's say you're at a library and the book falls off the shelf and it's like about Reiki, then you know that was him. Or also like if someone comes along and tells you something about, oh, I went to this amazing healer, pay attention what kind of healer that was. These kinds of things. These are all signs that he will send you. Do you have a question for him?
No, I think he's answered a lot of questions that I didn't know I had.
All right. Well, that's great.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And don't forget to laugh.
I'll try not to.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, who's also never had a reading in one of our free reading Fridays? Raise your hand so I know. All right, Elvira, you're next. Okay, let me unmute you and take a look at you real quick. Okay. So, let's see. You also have an elf around you. Interesting. But yours is female. And it shows itself more in the Disney variety. So it looks more like a, comic figure. She's short and kind of round. And she has like red cheeks. A little confused because now I see actually two beings. And I might have mixed them up. One is an elf, a female, and the other is more like a gnome-like being, but also female. So the one that I just described is more the gnome. Okay, so, and the other one, the elf is, looks different. She's also female, but she's younger, like in human years, maybe early 20s. It's the vibe, the energy. She's blonde, short hair. And she's wearing like these typical elf-like costume, like green, mostly like these pointy shoes and like a hat. And these two are friends. And they say they work together with you. Like together they help you. Let's see. Okay, so what they're saying is you also have healing abilities, but more in a sense of like maybe not Reiki, but more with something with plants, herbs, flower essences. Does that make sense to you?
A little bit.
Okay. Maybe trees. Yeah, something about plants. Yeah, basically working with nature to heal. They also show me you cooking and putting herbs like in the food. I'm not sure why. I'm trying to find out. They're showing me an image. Yeah, you like making some kind of soup or stew or something like that, and like putting in herbs, and they're like sitting on the rim of the pot, and basically telling you, "Oh, take this one. That one's good for you." And then you take it and you put it in like what you're cooking. They actually say that they've known you for a long time. I think even before this lifetime. They basically tell me that you're one of them. Like it's like the energy is like the three of you are like really good like girlfriends. Like the kind you would like invite over to your house at night and have a glass of wine with, and like laugh and tell stories, that kind of stuff. So I'm getting the impression that you actually lived in their dimension in a past lifetime. And that you decided to come into the human world, and that they already told you that they would be with you when you come here. And they are, they say that they are from, like, because one of them is an elf and one of them is a gnome, and sometimes like these beings don't get along all the time, but they say that one of their purposes is to improve the communication between different kinds of beings in the universe. that you have that same purpose. And they actually say that you used to be a fairy. And you can do magic, like fairy magic. You can also call on fairies. They say you just have to remember. And that's how you got to be friends, because you were like basically a representative for the fairy people, and they were like the representatives for like their people. And that's how you met and became friends in that other realm. And they say, we're still here. We still love you. We still want to have our fun girls' nights. Oh, and they're okay. So they're here to help you remember your magic. They say you can't do the same things you used to do because now you're a human being, but still you have magic and you can use that in your life. And they say if you want to make that happen, just imagine like having fairy wings, like really just imagine it, and having like a little wand, like a fairy wand, and then make your wish, whatever it is. And then maybe write it down. Yeah, maybe write it down on a piece of paper, burn the piece of paper in a safe way. Yeah, and that will help you realize your magic powers. They're laughing. They're like, she's never gonna believe it. She forgot so much. But we'll remind her. They're hugging you now. They really love you. They're very cute. Very, very nice. Do you have any questions for them?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know?
I have a very unsettled and chaotic life right now. So, it's the very large question of what am I doing in this particular place that I'm in.
Okay. So, yeah, what's the question?
Is is it right for me to be in this place that I am, or is it better for me to leave and really change things very very dramatically for myself?
Okay, they say you're putting yourself under too much pressure because you see it like as either this or either that, and you are like, oh my God, what should I do? This or that, this or that, this or that. But they say focus on your inner spirit. Focus on like in really little ways, like every day, what feels right now, what brings me joy right now, what makes my spirit soar, what lights me up in this moment, and then take that step towards that feeling. Then when you take that little step, ask again, what lights me up right now, what makes me feel not good? Follow the light. Don't make that huge decision. but like in every moment, make a small decision. And these small decisions, these small steps will bring you where you have to be. They say they're with you. Like the gnome is sitting on your right shoulder and the elf is sitting on your left shoulder. They will help you figure out, like what they say, don't pressure yourself in that sense with this big decision, because that's freaking you out. Take these little steps. Even if it's just about, let's say, do I want to go to this art exhibition tonight? And then think, does it make me feel good? What would it be like? Would I feel good? Does it light me up? Then go. If it doesn't, stay at home. And this way you will figure out your path out of this like complicated situation that you're in. Yeah, that's their advice.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I hope this helps.
Yes, it does.
Okay, awesome. All right, so who wants to go next? Patty. All right. Okay, let me take a look. All right, so definitely a goddess, also female. Not sure which one yet, so let's see. I can't clearly see her, but what I see is, oh, actually, okay. So what I see is she has blonde hair and it's like in a big braid that goes like this. And I think it's definitely European goddess. So I think it's either Freya or Artemis. Okay, so I think it's Freya, which, let me see. Yeah, it's something about cycles, phases. Yeah, cycles, phases, female cycle, the moon. It's about working with cycles and phases, not seeing things linear, but more like a cycle. Paying attention to what cycles are in your life. Okay, so she wants you to, if you don't have a diary yet, start one, but not in the sense of like writing down what happened, but more in, or you can do it on a calendar actually, writing down how you feel at each day, like your energy levels. Write it down each day over at least 3 months. Like maybe give it a, like, let's say a grade between 1 and 10 or something. And then after 3 months, look at like, see if you can see patterns in it, like how your energy goes up and down. And then start, like once you figure out like your energy cycle, you can start working with that. You can basically see when it's a good time to create things, when it's a good time to be more with yourself, when it's a good time to communicate with people, when it's a good time for self-care, these kinds of things. You will notice. I mean, it will take a while, but yeah, write it down, like your energy levels. And yeah, every month look back on it and try to see, yeah, the cycles in your life. She says that will give you more energy and it will help you get yeah, it will be easier for you to get things done, to do things, to manifest things, to yeah, all the things that you do in your life will be easier if you work with your own inner cycle. And if you want, you can also compare it to the moon cycle, like how that works. If there's like if that synchronizes or not, doesn't have to, but you can start seeing more if you also take the moon into account. Do you have any questions about that?
I have a chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia. So my energy is kind of, it's always at a kind of a bad baseline, but then it gets worse if I do activities and stuff.
Yes, okay, yeah. Then this is why you should do this. That's exactly
Okay.
why.
So does that mean that I need to like be recording how much activity I've done?
No, it's not about activity. It's more like how you feel on the inside.
Okay.
It's more about like, how do I feel? Like, do I feel, it's not about like your energy in the sense of how much you can do, but more about like how you feel. Like, do I feel really joyful today? Do I feel more down?
Well, I've been trying to practice like the Sedona method and releasing whenever I feel down or feel negative thoughts. I've been practicing releasing that. So should I just keep doing that, but like notice, okay, today I happen to feel bad, so I should write that down on the calendar, and that would not be a good day to try to work on my creative project or whatever. Is that what she's saying?
What she's saying is to acknowledge how you feel. Not try to make it go away, but just acknowledge it for now. Because you can't, how do I say this? You can't increase your, it's about, you can't increase your like your energy if you feel bad and you try to not feel bad. You have to acknowledge, okay, I feel bad, and then write it down. Let's say you say your energy level is at 3, and then do something that's appropriate for that energy level. Maybe you go and take a hot bath, or maybe you just read a book, or something that makes you feel, that you can do with that energy level that makes you feel okay feeling not great. And the more you do that, the more you acknowledge it, and the more you work with that energy, even if you don't like it and you're like, I don't want to feel like this, just acknowledge it, work with it. Not in the sense of trying to change it, but just, letting it be. Do things that are okay. And then find out like this cycle, and that will help you. That will show you how to increase your energy in the long run. Does that make sense to you?
Is there a way I can communicate with her?
Yes. So she says, get uh, a bowl, either glass bowl or like these not silver. I mean, if you have a silver bowl, awesome. But otherwise, like one of these, I don't know, aluminum. Is that it? But it looks a little bit silvery. Yeah, I guess. Like a bowl like that, one that basically reflects things a little bit. Put water in it, and then look at the moon in that water. So look at the reflection of the moon in that water. And that's how you can talk to her. So then you can basically, like if you've had a shitty day, for example, tell her all of that. Or if you had a great day, you can tell her, and basically pour all your emotions into that bowl of water, and she will like hear it, and she will reply. She says you will probably not hear her right away because you have to practice that, but keep doing it. And then after you're done, throw the water away. If you have plants, it's okay to give the water to plants because they can transform the energy, even if you felt really shitty that day. If you don't have any plants, just put it in the toilet or whatever. Yeah, and do that on a regular basis. It doesn't have to be every night, but I don't know, maybe once a week.
Should I call her Freya? Or...
Yes. You can also look her up. Actually, I do have tarot cards here, and one of them is Freya, and I'll show you. I hope I can find her really quick. Where are you? She's probably going to be the last card.
I haven't gone yet.
Here. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. So someone just said they hadn't had a turn yet. Blair. Okay. Give you 1 sec to put these back. All right. Let me take a look. You've never had a reading?
Yeah, I did. I think about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Then let's see if anyone has never had a reading, because I want to make sure. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, so I can either connect to the one I connected you with earlier, or I can just see who shows up. What would you rather have me do?
Whoever shows up.
Okay. Oh, I have to mention, usually when I do readings, I forget all about it after, so I usually don't remember who I connected you with earlier. So I'll see. What I see is also an elf. Lots of elves today. Male, definitely a warrior. warrior, protector, magician. He says you're connected because you're all of the above as well. We've had a lot of lifetimes here on Earth. You've been in Atlantis. You were priest warrior there. He says, to watch out to not discredit other people's beliefs. He says you have a really strong connection to the magic side of life. Because you've learned so much about that already in your past lives. You have a lot of power, and at least your spirit knows that. And you're a protector of ancient knowledge. Really, all you have to do is remember what you already know. And he says you're connected to the line of God, I don't know how to pronounce it in English. Melchizedek.
Mm.
You're very good with sacred geometry. You should definitely work with that if you don't already. And this comes from me. I don't know if you know his name. Drumvelo Melchizedek also. Like, he's a writer.
Mm-hmm.
His books are The Flower of Life. I think you should read that.
I already have.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, then it all makes sense.
Yeah.
He says you've worked together in past lives. Yeah, you've been friends for a long time. You've worked together for a long time. He's also been on Atlantis. That's where you know each other.
Does he have a name?
Not sure. I mean, not really getting one.
Okay.
Okay, so he says you know his name. Yeah, he says you know his name. Why are you asking? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. Do you have any questions for him?
Yeah, do I have to do more healing around having been present in Atlantis?
He says the only thing is to pay attention to where you're judging yourself, where you're being too harsh on yourself and judging yourself.
Okay. And what's the best way for me to remember some of these important periods of my past lives?
Working with sacred geometry and reading and gathering knowledge about Atlantis, because the more you read about it, the more you hear about it, the more you see about it, the more you will remember. It will trigger your memory.
So a lot of what's written about Atlantis is fairly limited.
Yeah, sure. But it will still, like, you will read, let's say, a sentence, and then you will get like all kinds of memories that come back, and these memories have way more information than what's actually in the book.
I see.
Also, I think, but I'm not entirely sure, that you were one of the priests that were connected to the green ray, like the light. Do you have a specific connection to green?
Only through Archangel Raphael.
All right. Okay. Yeah, then it makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yes. But I'm not entirely sure if it's blue or green. It's one of the two, and I think it's green. So.
Because I'm a Blu-ray actually.
Okay. Maybe that's it. Because there are Blu-rays that work with the green ray. So like, yeah. So maybe there's like a mixture and in different ways.
Okay.
Because I keep seeing you like in Atlantis, and you're working with a crystal, and there's like this green light between your hand and the crystal. Actually, your right hand.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know about like the 7 rays, and that there's different beings working with the 7 rays, also connected to the Ascended Masters. I'm not sure which Ascended Master is like the one of the green ray. You would have to look that up, but yeah. Maybe look into it.
So I should read about the rays.
Yeah, just look it up on the internet or something, and then see if it resonates with you, and if it does, then follow the breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have more questions?
About the magic. How to reanimate the magic, reawaken the magic.
Working with, again, sacred geometry, but also crystals. If you don't have one yet, get an amethyst. I see you with one that's about like as big as my hand.
Like this?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you, Yamile.
You're welcome. But I'm curious, which spirit guide was it last time?
there was no precision, but it was a lot about the Akashic records, and I should follow into the Akashic records.
Right.
I think he was the main keeper of the Akashic records, and I was a student or an
Right,
apprentice.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes total sense with,
Yeah, it does.
yeah. Remembering past lives.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Selena, you haven't been yet, right? Can you say something, Selena? I unmuted you.
Okay, hi.
All right. You don't have a video, like a camera?
I should have a video. Let's see if I can turn it on.
Because that makes it easier for me to connect.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, okay.
Oh, there you are. All right, awesome. Let me pin your video for a second so I can see you a little bit better. Well, can't really see much, but okay. Let's see. Okay, so I see two beings. One is a dolphin and one is a star being. These often come together because they're both connected to the star system Sirius. There's also connection to science. Does that make sense to you?
Science?
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Okay, let's see. So you're not a scientist, you're not specifically interested in science.
I'm interested in it, but it's not my field, no.
Okay. Well, actually, specifically genetics.
Mm-hmm.
They say you come from like the lineage from Sirius. That is, before you ever incarnated on Earth, you incarnated in the Sirius star system. You come from a lineage there that were geneticists. These geneticists came to Earth and they did all kinds of experiments here on Earth. So you have a connection to that. So Sirius generally is also very connected to the oceans and water. And they're okay, so there's a lot of information coming in and I'm trying to like make sense of it. There's also a connection to Portugal. Do you know of a conscious connection to Portugal at all?
Portugal?
Yes.
Not really.
Okay, then it like these things, because they go back so far, they can also be from past lives and you don't even know about it. there's a connection specifically to one place in Portugal. I think it's called Finisterre. It's like the westernmost point of Europe. There's a legend in that place, where it says that this is where the amphibian beings from Sirius came on land when they came to Earth, and that there's a connection to that. So there's also connection to water, to mermaids. And it's basically about past lives. This is like a long time ago. Like not like your last past life or 3 lives ago. This is like way back in history. So it was either you or one of your ancestors that were one of the people that came to Earth when there weren't even humans yet. And there's something in that story from way back that has to be activated in your brain right now. So that star being is a female. And she says like, all this information might not make sense to you right now, but because you're hearing it, something in your unconscious is being tapped, and that's important that that happens, because that will unlock something. She says it's not even necessary that you actually remember any of this, although she says you could if you wanted to. It would take some work though. But it's more about like, it's like a new, like a really old neural pathway that was already almost gone, had to be like connected again. And that will, because that was connected again, now other things will happen that may seem totally unconnected, that have nothing to do with it, and you probably only think like, oh, I don't know, like maybe tomorrow you win, I don't know, $1 million in the lottery or something, and then it's totally unrelated, but it is in the end, even though you don't understand the connection. I'm not saying that you're winning $1 million in the lottery, by the way. It was just an example. And it's the thing that is going to happen because of this has to do with your purpose in this lifetime. And you're being like part of your purpose is being a connector, like a transmitter, kind of like here's like Earth, you're Sirius, and you're like a transmitter in the middle, but not just in this with this connection, but generally in life, you are someone, a transmitter, basically, in all kinds of different forms and ways. Like, for example, you could be a translator, or you could be someone who has like very different circles of friends and you're the one connecting them. Or you could be someone who knows how to bring children and the elderly together. I don't know, something like that. Does that make sense to you?
I don't know, but it sounds interesting. Yeah, we'll see what comes up.
Yeah. Look at your life and see where you have this role in your life. It is somewhere. Maybe you're the one who's great at when there is someone new in the community who like brings them in or something like that. Like, look at your life and you will find it. Like a bridge, like, you're like a bridge. Could also be between animals and humans. I don't know. She's not telling me. Do you have any questions for her or for the dolphin?
Oh dear.
By the way, she says to call her Eva.
Eva. Okay. So does she have any ideas of what my purpose is, or what am I trying to manifest, or if I'm already doing it, or?
She says you are already doing it, but you don't see it. And she says, like this being this bridge, being this transmitter, that's the key. So if you're not sure, let's say you get 2 different opportunities, look at which one has more to do with being like a connector in some way, and then follow that path.
Oh.
Let me see if I can get more. No, she's not giving me more. Yeah, sorry, that's all I get.
Yeah, thank you very much.
But I'm curious, like what do you do in life? What kind of job do you have, for example?
I'm a massage therapist, and I work with health and like herbs. So I don't know. Perhaps I'm thinking about starting to do like group work, having workshops, but this is interesting because last time there was also some connection with stars. There was this elf being who said that she was connected to a blue star, and then I had a feeling that perhaps there's some star beings involved, and yeah.
Actually, I think I'm not entirely sure though. You can look it up. I think Sirius has something to do with the color blue.
Yeah, that might be.
Yeah. And also Sirius is very much about water and water beings, so blue makes also sense.
Yeah, the elf said that I should wear blue when I want to connect.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I have no idea what this was about.
Thank you anyway. Yeah, it's cool.
You're welcome. All right, some people posted in the chat. Let me see. Okay, Andreas, are you back? There was something wrong with your sound. Are you still here? Let me see. I don't think I see you. Ah, okay. He left. All right. So, did we have everyone already? I think so, right? Oh, wow. It's already 2:20 here. I always forget the time when I do these readings. Crazy. Well, okay. Well, thanks for coming. I hope it was helpful for you, even though maybe not everything made sense yet. And yeah, again, like come join our Facebook group if you're not in it already. It's spiritguideschool.com, and it will redirect to the Facebook group. And I give tips in there how to connect with your spirit guides, and I give some like clarifications about, for example, what are guardian angels, what are spirit guides, what's the difference, that kind of stuff. Yeah, and I hope to see you there. And if you want to book a private session, you can go to spiritguides.co. That's my website. And yeah, you can find everything, all the information there. All right. Thanks again for showing up. I hope this was helpful for you, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Oh, and now I can't find the button where to stop it. Oh, here it is. Bye, guys.
Bye.
And it won't do it. This is funny.